rise for the Honorable Eleanor Thomas.
Hi, my name is Karen Abercrombie. I'm playing the role of Eleanor Thomas in Eleanor's Bench. It deals with hope. You can begin again through your faith in God. You can break your family's legacy of going to prison.
You got no right. You are not taking my baby.
I want to see if I can get this one moved into my court.
You grew up here?
My old neighborhood.
Look at your son. Do you want to be reunited?
I promised your mother that I would watch over you.
My name is Cameron Arnett, and I play Reginald. Eleanor has this power, this strength, and then she comes back to the neighborhood.
Your parking fee.
Stop right there.
Please, be careful.
Daddy, you can't stay here.
I'm staying in my house. I've had a good run. I'm good with it.
I don't know that if what I'm doing is making a difference. Was it always like this?
It's the same neighborhood, Eleanor. You're the one who's changed.
My name is CC Stallings, and I play the role of Apollo. I feel like God has a purpose for us all.
People only talk to God when their life is falling apart. But they can walk around with him all the time as their best friend.
Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven.
I pray for judgment day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Maurice Brown Show. And we've got a great show for you today. You're looking at a young lady who's an actress, a writer, master oral storyteller, independent film producer, and also an activist and avid environmentalist. Early 2023, she had the pleasure of stepping into the Marvel Universe, man. You got to love it. Guardians of the Galaxy, playing opposite Chris Pratt as Grandma Quill. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. She has a long list of impressive film, television, and stage credits to her name, including War Room, Discarded Things, God's Compass, and can currently be seen in the faith-based series ELEANOR'S Bench on PUREFLIX. It's a 6-part miniseries, and the final episode drops tomorrow, which is Friday, episode 6. Ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, please welcome my good friend, Karen Abercrombie. Hello, Karen. How are ya?
Oh, Maurice, I'm so glad to be here with you. You just bring me joy, okay? Is that okay? You just bring me joy. You really do. You're excellent, and you just bring me joy. And I can't wait to work with you.
I can't either. Give me a call, Karen. I love it. You are tremendous. You are such a terrific actress. And currently, as I was saying, you can be seen in Eleanor's Bench. Episode 6 drops tomorrow. My wife and I have been watching the show religiously. We absolutely love it. And I got to tell you, it addresses a very serious subject in our world today. I love the way that you're just going in, just diving in head first. Tell us about this current project, which can be seen on PUREFLIX, Eleanor's Bench, and what inspired the idea.
The writer, Stephen Schultze, absolutely amazing. We had lunch together, and he wanted to share some idea he had. And
Yes.
it had to do with this project, Eleanor's Bench. She's an amazing director and writer. But it's interesting. His mother was an activist way back in the day.
Okay.
And he would tell me that sometimes that he and his brother and dad would come home, and who knows who would be in the house. Sometimes they could be homeless people, and you could honestly smell them before you moved further in the house. But see, she was a woman who was walking out that faith.
Okay.
That love of Christ. She was an activist back in the day. and Caucasian,
Yes.
but sister
Yes.
on fire for God, loving the
Amen.
people. That's what he calls us to do. And
Yes.
and sad thing is, the most important parts of our walk have been forgotten, because it's got political and all that other stuff. But anyway, the opportunity to play someone who's stepping in the midst of a big mess to make a difference appealed to me.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
to no end. The way I grew up, my dad was he was a great guy, but he was an alcoholic. Mom was an alcoholic. There was drug abuse from my mom. So it's interesting how you can take something that could have been traumatic, or maybe it was at times, but you can flip that script.
Yeah.
And use it for good to bring each other people out of their depression or pain or whatnot. And yeah. So Eleanor's Bench for me is an awesome opportunity.
And it is an awesome program. And again, it attacks a subject matter that I don't think a lot of us really consider as much as we should. It's a real issue in our nation, and I love the way that you address it. And which brings me to my next question, and it makes me wonder, since we don't really consider it as much as we should, how serious, Karen, do you think the problem with troubled youth in America and home placement for those without responsible parenting? I mean, how serious is that issue in our nation today?
Major. Hold that thought right there. I'm just going to open the door. Some people may have seen my cat trying to let itself out.
I got you.
Okay, go ahead, sweetheart. It is big. It is major, and for many reasons, it seemed to have been just kept on one side of the tracks.
Yes.
But what goes around eventually comes back to your door. It's just things are cyclical.
Yes.
And the stories we get to tell here on Eleanor's Bench, you see it not just happening in the Black community, but also in the white community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Greed, which is, I know at the top of a whole lot of this mess that we're in. Pharmaceutical companies stepping in with the opioids, making them as strong and whatnot as they can possibly be, and addictive. So someone in pain would be getting prescribed these things, and it didn't make a difference that it was so addictive. And now we have other people on the other side of the fence understanding some of the stuff that we have been dealing with in the hood, or the other neighborhoods.
Yes. Yes.
So it is no longer just them over there. It is us here. It is everybody who is dealing with the repercussions. And what I so love, how Stephen wrote it, you get to see stories coming from white families that are dealing with the stuff too.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are, and they always have been. Maybe it wasn't so publicized or whatever, but it is a growing epidemic, and you've got older parents or older grandparents raising their kids because of addiction or whatnot. But it's becoming something that people can understand because they are going through it right now. And I believe that anybody that might be watching Eleanor's Bench, if it's not in their house, and I don't care where they came from or how much money or whatever they've had, it's permeating, and they're dealing with it too.
I love that you said that, Karen, because this issue doesn't have an economic status to it.
Oh no. Mm-mm. Nope.
You know, children are born into jaded situations
Mhm.
all across the board, and these issues are real. I love the fact that you are dealing with it. If you can catch it early, if you can catch a young person early, which is what I think your show is bringing out. You can change a life,
Oh my
and
goodness.
there should be more focus on it. It's a real problem in our nation, and I love the fact that your show surrounds that. It brings out a great topic.
Oh,
And also, I noticed that you had a favorite of mine in that show from Sanford, and said, I let me tell you something. I watched that show religiously, still from time to time today. My
wow.
wife will tell you, because it's ad nauseum for her. But the gentleman that played Lamont, Damon Wilson, who is a man of God. Tell us how you were able to get Damon Wilson involved with this project, and what was it like working with him?
Well, the one of the other producers, Scotty Curley, reached out along with the writer Stephen Schultze, and he agreed to come aboard after reading the script, because dealing with the subject matter is very important to him as well. Working
Okay.
with Damon, oh my gosh, as a young girl, I would watch him like you.
Yes.
And it was just an honor to be able to laugh and just watch people uh, of color, just taking the space and putting some good stuff out there. He's a wonderful actor, absolutely wonderful
Yes.
actor. And he's that old Hollywood actor, the way they approach scenes and stuff. So that was interesting to see too. And then he
Yes.
would share different stories with us all about all of the other greats he had worked with, Sidney Poitier and so many others. So
Yes.
it's just to be there and listen to these stories. And a lot of these people, I guess, watered my desire, the seeds inside me to want to do what I'm doing today. So an honor,
Yes.
absolute honor. And then with him being a man of God, oh my gosh, and bringing it real, talking
Uh-huh.
about where he had gone, his journey. I love it. If we could be more truthful moving forward, I think believers across the board would be definitely making more headway,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. You could see the veteran presence that
Oh,
Damon has in the program, and you're right. He's worked with greats. I mean, not to mention Red Fox, but
oh my
I mean,
gosh, yes.
yeah, I mean, just amazing. The Sidney Poitiers of the world, and I think that when you really think about what he did on that show, Sanford's Son was so interesting and groundbreaking on so many levels, because they touched on so many sensitive topics that made us all laugh. No one got angry. Whereas today,
Mhm.
people would get very angry
Right.
if those same topics were addressed. But it was great to see him a part of your, and he's a major part of the
Yes,
series.
he
He's
is.
a major
Yes, he is.
part of the series. It's great to see him part of that. Now, also, you have a common friend of ours, a part of this, Cameron Arnett, terrific actor.
Yes, he is.
What was it like working with Cameron on this project?
I have had the honor of working with Cameron. He is one of the most brilliant actors I have ever worked with. And he can
Yes.
go toe to toe with anybody that's
Yes.
out there, out in Hollywood or whatever. He is brilliant. He is gifted. He is anointed to do that which he does in
Yes.
excellence.
Yes.
And so we're friends, Cameron and I, and his wife, BJ. And it's always a pleasure to work with him, because every take could be slightly different, And so just standing across from somebody, talking to them while he's alive in that moment is a lesson within itself from a master storyteller.
Yes.
So, and then
Yes.
he's a friend of mine, and I just love him, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
an honor.
Cameron is a terrific actor, and he could very easily, as well as yourself, be in the secular world and have chosen to do it God's way. And he can stand toe to toe as
With
well as yourself
anybody.
with anybody. And he's just right. He was the 2020 actor of the year for his role in Overcomer, a Kendrick
Mhm.
Brothers production, which you were able to also be a part of in 2015, called War Room.
Yes.
Two tremendous films, both of which you guys just showed out.
Mm.
Both of which you guys just absolutely, completely showed out. I want to bring out a couple of other actors in your current series, Eleanor's Bench. My wife and I were very impressed with the young man that played Drayvon, and I believe his name is Caleb Avery,
Yes.
and also the actress that played his mother, Camilla Matthews.
Ooh, she's a
Tell us
pretty.
about these two actors.
A pleasure to work with both of them. I'm talking fire.
Yeah,
I'm
yes,
talking
yes,
fire.
absolutely.
And oh my gosh, I can't wait to see. I'm excited to see where the both of them go on from this show. And I would
Yeah.
be honored to use them over and over and over again because they are actors on the pulse. I'm just saying, amazing.
They are, and the young man's he was so genuine. I mean, he played the role, the fear that he showed, the shock of what
Yes,
he was going through. He
yes,
exuded that
yes,
through the camera
yes,
so well, so
yes,
believable. And of course, Camilla as the mother, uh, able to play that hardened, brazen track.
yes.
I love it. I love the ability to portray just different ranges. And I just love that. And I wanted to mention them because they did an exceptional
I'm so
job.
glad that you did, but yes, yes. And you know, it's our village. It takes a village. And so this village is, thank God, well oiled and working together to bring this piece before the public.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Now, as you know, Karen, we have a writer strike going on now in Hollywood, and it's one of those things that's put a lot of people out of work, unfortunately, for the time being. But I wanted to get your opinion of the strike that's going on, and do you see a resolution coming soon?
I believe a resolution is going to have to come
Yeah,
because when it comes down to it, it's always about dollars and cents.
yeah,
But the actors have to be paid fairly.
yes,
No, everybody is doing well. Well, it's right that the actors that draw the people in, that
yeah,
then paint the stories that the writers have written,
yeah.
they both deserve to be paid fairly. The writers, the actors. It's fair. It's right.
It is, and you see a lot of the actors are siding with the writers, and there's there's still question about that. It's a terrible situation. There's a lot of quality. I have friends in the industry out there that are affected, not able to work,
Yes.
and it's an unfortunate. You'd think this kind of stuff would never happen. I mean, there's so much success. There's so much love for film and TV by patrons, and so much success. You would figure this kind of thing, but it always comes down to greed, Karen. That's the
That is it.
unfortunate.
Dollars and cents. Yep.
Yeah.
Greed from here. And the people have to strike because they have to eat, they have to pay bills. It's only fair. Like I said, they are the face of the story. They're the ones that are telling the story. The writers wrote the stories. These people are executing those stories.
Yes.
And people are making a lot of money off of them. Wouldn't be able to do it without them.
Absolutely would not be able to do it
Okay.
without them. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
100% correct. I would, in light of the strike, in light of the unfortunate strike, Karen,
Yes.
it is a time now for independent or indie, as we like to call it, and faith-based films, to actually now be put in the spotlight. Do you think this is an opportunity for these two industries to gain a foothold in the film industry?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you got to
Yeah.
be ready, well-oiled machine, iron sharpens iron. You got to be sharp and
Yeah.
put the best foot forward. It is an opportunity
Yes.
to do that. Mhm.
And it's it's unfortunate that this is happening in Hollywood, but you do have a lot of great indie projects out there, a lot of great faith-based projects out there that may not be seen normally or as much if this weren't happening. And God works in mysterious ways, and I think that
Yes.
particularly when you look at the faith-based world, I love what you just said. It's about having your ducks in a row. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, if you're well oiled and you are, ready, been ready, and this is the moment
Yes.
that is for you.
Uh-huh.
And
That's interesting. I like the way you said what you said. Been ready.
yeah, right,
Ooh,
right.
that's good. Yep.
And God is in the business of blessing his stewards, being a good
Oh,
steward.
yes.
And this is that opportunity, if you're ready to go, if you're just like the women that had the 10 women that knocked on the door for the
Yeah.
groomsmen. Well, 5 had the oil and the other 5 were half
Yep.
full.
Yep.
And when the groomsmen came, the 5 that had the full got in and the other 5 didn't.
Yep.
Matter of fact, the groomsmen said, "I don't know you."
I don't even know you. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yes.
utterly amazing. And so this is a time, if you're a good steward, if your lamp is full, this is your time in indie and faith-based films. This is
Yes.
your time. I'll give you a great example. I mean, your show, Eleanor's Bench, my goodness gracious. It's right there. It's so well done. It is so orderly. The topic of in which the show surrounds is so timely.
Mm.
This is an example of a show that can shine beyond what it may have normally if things had been going the way they had been. And I think you're going to go a long way with Eleanor's Bench. I could see some great things coming for the show. You do such a great job of acting and portraying your role, and the subject matter is so hard hitting and addressed so well. I don't see how you can't just keep flying.
Oh, Maurice, thank you for the encouragement, the inspiration. My goodness, brother. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. And that's genuine, real, and authentic. I really believe that. But I just wanted to throw that question out because you don't want to see anyone not able to work. Like I said, I have friends out in Hollywood that are affected by this. So, but I know that God's work needs to be done on a high level and better than it has been, and it is being done better than it's ever
getting
been
better.
done.
Yes, it's getting better.
It's getting a lot better, and I think it's just going to continue to grow. And there's room in that area to grow. Carl Bailey says, "Thank you for giving you gifts back to God and setting it up for our gifts and talents to change the world." So that's for
Wow.
you, Kim.
Well,
Thank you.
I just want to say I am grateful for the opportunity to do just that. And thank you for reaching out with that encouragement. It means more than you know. Thank you so much for taking time to write and join us. And yeah, that stokes my fire. Thank you.
But that's a good man there too. Carl Bailey, who is a producer and photographer in his own right out of Buffalo, New York. Met him at the International Christian Film Festival in May in Orlando. Very, 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 very excellent in his craft. Thank you, Carl, for chiming in.
Thank you,
Um,
Carl. Yes.
I want to ask you, Karen, we had the privilege of seeing you in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. You had the opportunity to play Grandma Quill. And opposite Chris Pratt. What was it like working with Chris Pratt?
I will tell you this. It was great. It was easy. He was down to earth, very friendly.
Yes.
The scenes that I had were a whole lot more involved. They got cut, but I'm just glad that they left me in.
Yes.
And it looks like I will be involved in the next installment, the next
Yes.
direction that they are going. And so I am grateful. I am grateful. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're going to be in the next iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy. I love that film, and a lot of people may or may not know, but Chris Pratt is a Christian. He's a man of God, and I love that. Oh wow, that's not crazy. Karen with Chris. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Karen working with Chris Pratt. That's perfect. A lot of people, like I said, may or may not know that, but he's a God-fearing man. He's a Christian man. How did you land the role of Grandma Quill?
I think it was a God thing. I mean, my agent reached out to me saying she had submitted me, and then I taped an audition, and they told me a long time ago that I had it, but you had other things going on. COVID came in and other things, but yeah, it had been secured for quite a while.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And as I say that, moving forward, Karen, and I've got behind me Earth Mother Productions, your film company. I got to represent. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
No doubt about it. I love what is coming up on the horizon for Karen Abercrombie and Earth Mother Films. What's coming up?
Okay, we've got a couple projects that are simmering right now on the stove.
Okay.
Talking to some possible funders about them. We've got 2 adventure family projects that they say a lot, but they are written to pull in our youth because, oh my goodness, we have to protect them, teach them, and make entertainment for them.
Yes.
So excited about those. I've got another project called The Healer, which is very interesting. The lead character is an atheist.
Okay.
And due to an interesting change in her life, she gets to see God in action.
Okay.
And I mean, she was a staunch atheist. And then yeah, what God does is outrageously amazing. The love that he pours on this individual. And through this experience, I don't want to give too much away, she comes to know that God does indeed exist. And not only does he exist, is that she was purposed here for just what she's getting ready to start doing.
For a time such as this.
Ooh, yes.
I love it. I love it. You can see God working in so many avenues of life. So many avenues of life. You can see God working. And atheists are, I think one of the most interesting non-believers that I can think of, and I think those are the ones, believe it or not, Karen, I kind of think those are the ones that are more likely to accept Christ if, you just catch them in the right way. I mean, they really want to know who God is, but intriguing, those people walking around, I think innately they know that God exists. They just refuse for whatever reason. There are many reasons. I mean, you can use your, the issue we were talking about before, where you grow up in a troubled home and you're disenfranchised and you don't know why, God dealt you that hand, and you become resentful and you become hard. And then all of a sudden you become this person. Sometimes you become a monster. But you think about the beginning of it. It was an innocent child. In every case, it's always an innocent child.
Yes.
It's
Maurice.
always an innocent child.
Yes.
No matter how, monstrous perhaps they may become. It started with innocence.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And peeling all that stuff back, God's in the business of that.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. And he can flip that script and use these individuals to minister in a way that nobody else can.
That's right. And I want to ask you too, Karen, before we step out, and I'd love asking this question. What kind of advice can you leave with young people out there that are thinking about getting into this business, particularly faith-based filmmaking as an actor, screenwriter, director, you name it? What kind of advice? Young person thinking seriously about diving in. What kind of advice can you leave with them?
I would say whatever area you're looking to get in, behind the camera, in front of the camera, writing, directing, perfect your craft. And make sure that the area you're wanting to go in is where you should be.
Yes.
Because you will be equipped to do all you need to do in the area you're supposed to be working in. Perfect that craft and use it as worship, a form of worship. And
yes,
I believe God will meet you and bring people to you, energize you, bring you creativity, all the things that you need to do what he has called you to do in that discipline, that area.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Great advice. We also have another common friend in the industry, Anthony Hackett.
I love it.
Who's coming out with the film Perfect Christmas, which will be in theaters this year.
Yes.
And did you get a chance to work with Anthony on this project?
Not this one. I worked with him on the one before, but we are talking about another project that we will be working on together. Oh, yes.
I know that, and you have the opportunity to be in Hope Lives, which was tremendous. That was a tremendous work. Excited about Anthony. Love Anthony. Great guy. And he's got some good stuff coming down the road. How can fans follow you, Karen, on, I almost called you Eleanor. How can fans?
Okay. I love it. They can follow me on Real Karen Abercrombie Instagram or Facebook, Karen Abercrombie the artist, or just the regular Karen Abercrombie, where it's just me sharing some stuff, talking to people, and that's on Facebook as well. Also, I am in the process of putting together a YouTube channel on my Karen Abercrombie channel called Living Simply, Naturally, and Well. And there's some travel, some wellness tips, and lots of inspiration.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with actress Karen Abercrombie, who can be seen in her latest work, ELEANOR'S Bench, on PUREFLIX. It's a 6-part miniseries, and the final episode, the 6th and final episode, drops tomorrow. And listen, if you haven't had a chance to see it, well, you can binge watch it, by gosh. And that's something that people love to do nowadays. So if you haven't, you just find about it. Hey, go home, binge watch it, then catch episode 6 tomorrow. You'll be right in line. And Karen's also been in Discarded Things, a great work with Sharon Lanier, and God's Compass with T.C. Stallings, great film. And of course, War Room by the Kendrick brothers, also a great work. And I could go on and on and on about this fine actress right here. Carl also says, as a father of a girl and boy, thank you for being a positive female role model. Well, thank you, Carl.
Oh my goodness, Carl. Thank you. Thank you. It's a privilege and an honor. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Indeed, no doubt. And once again, folks, Target with Karen Abercrombie. And if you came in late and you're like, man, I missed the interview, it's okay. You can watch the entire replay on Facebook and YouTube, and you can also see us on the Taken Network as well as PUREFLIX. So you can see it there. And then also where all major podcasts are heard on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon and Apple Music, Pocket Cast, Radio Cast. It's all there. You can catch it in its entirety. Karen Abercrombie on the Maurice Brown Show. Karen, hang out just a little bit longer after we get off the air. I want to talk to you about a couple of things. But thank you once again for being on the show. It has been truly an honor and always a privilege to speak with you. May the peace of Christ, Karen, be with you and your family. God bless you.
Thank you. I receive it, and I send that same sentiment back to you and yours, Maurice. Mwah.
Amen. Thank you, Karen. God bless.